Okay, good morning, everybody. I told you I was going to be pushing some new stuff out to you, and this is where we are at right now. This is my cat, Ellie, that has, I guess, decided to just this moment come and visit. But I will tell you that we are going to be working on something that you learned previously, and that is the verb gustar and the verb encantar. If you remember, both of those were a little bit different from the normal type of verb in terms of its conjugation. We're going to run through a couple of things that'll hopefully refresh your memory, and I will then give you a small, very small, ungraded assignment that, although it is ungraded, I am requiring you to turn it in. It should take you very little time, but I do want you to make sure that you turn this in, and I'll just make sure that you've got it. Okay, it will be impacting your professional skills grade in the class, which, as you've come to learn, is definitely something that can help you with your overall grade in the class. It does account for 30% of your grade. So let's run through a couple things here. So first thing that we've got, let me minimize myself here, and we will take a look at gustar and encantar. Okay, if you remember, gustar, that is the verb to like. The verb encantar is to love. Okay, encantar is more or less something that is the extreme form of liking. Okay, gustar to like, encantar to love. Okay, now you do not get to add on, in this case, these are AR verbs. You do not get to add in o, as, amos, and on. There's a little something extra or different that you end up having to do in order to make sure that the verb is conjugated correctly. Okay, there are a couple factors that come into play here, and we're going to go into them right now. Okay, at the very beginning of all this, hopefully you will remember that there are indirect object pronouns. We a lot of times in class have referred to them as little tiny words. These little tiny words are technically indirect object pronouns, but nobody likes to remember indirect object pronouns, so little tiny words is how we will refer to them. Okay, these indirect object pronouns, little tiny words, are me, te, le, nos, and les. Okay, me, te, le, nos, and les. Every single one of them will show up in front of the conjugations of either gustar or encantar. Okay, you cannot have one without the other. You cannot just have may. You've got to have may and then some form of gustar that we'll talk about. You cannot just have nos and not have encantar. You can't have encantar and no nos. Okay, you got to have one of these verbs conjugated and one of these little tiny words. Okay, I don't know if you remember that we went into it and we said something to the effect of metal noselays. Okay, hopefully this is coming back to some of you. It sounds ridiculous, but that is at least how I remember my indirect object pronouns, or the little tiny words. So let's go a little bit further with that. Okay, gotta have one, gotta have the other. Cannot have one or the other. You've got to have them both. Okay? So, what do we do with our little tiny words? Here they are laid out in the ever popular grid form that you've got generally in front of you. The little tiny words are your indirect object pronouns that are in reality taking the place of your subject conjugation. okay? If the subject that is either liking or loving something is I or yo, my little tiny word would be may. If my subject that was doing the liking or loving was you, okay, the indirect object pronoun would be. Additionally, if the subject was one singular person, maybe a proper noun like Cameron, maybe Karina, something along those lines, one singular person, ella, Karina, Cameron, etc., your little tiny word would be lay. Both of, or pardon me, all three of these little tiny words right here are from the singular side of your grid, okay? Then we move over to the plural side. If the subject was nosotros, our little tiny word that we would use would be nos. So if we like something in a sentence, then nos would have to show up, okay? Or if I wanted to say something like Profe Maddox, or my former neighbor instructor there at Ignite, he's still my neighbor instructor, but he's not here right now. If I wanted to say that we like something, or Profe Maddox yo, Professor Maddox and I, which is the same thing as saying we would have an indirect object pronoun or a little tiny word of nos starting off in front of either GUSTAR or ENCANTAR, okay? Additionally, let's just say that for some reason you wanted to say they. They as in all males, ellos, they as in mixed company, ellos, they as in all female, ellas, or even if I just had several proper nouns like, I don't know, we could say Pedro y Alexa. Additionally, we could have los estudiantes, definitely something that is plural, okay? Lace would be our little tiny word that would show up in front of our conjugations of gustar or encantar. Now, we have not actually talked about the conjugation of gustar or encantar, okay? But everyone should be happy to know that there are only two conjugations of gustar and two conjugations of encantar in the present tense, okay? And here they are right here. Gusta or gustan. Encanta y encantan, okay? In order to figure out which one to use, whether it be gustar, gustan, encanta, or encantan, you are going to make sure that you choose the appropriate form based on what is being liked or loved, okay? If it is singular or plural, okay? Choose the appropriate form based on, let me get rid of if, that doesn't make any sense. On what is being liked or loved is singular or plural. Choose the appropriate form based on what is being liked or loved is singular or plural. So if I liked something that was perhaps, if I liked something that was perhaps, I don't know. I like that. Maybe, can I get it bigger? Let's play around with that. Okay, so if I wanted to have something that was, if I was liking something like la bebida, okay, I would say I gusta la bebida. La bebida is singular. But if I like the drinks, maybe there's a whole variety of drinks and I like them all, I would use gustan. I would say me gustan las bebidas. Bebidas is plural. Okay, there's an S at the end of it. There's a definite article, las, behind it. Okay, so, or there's a las in front of it. Then you would choose gustan. If, for some reason, you wanted to utilize ENCANTAR, maybe you really love the drink. Okay, it's a really good drink. It's, I don't know, it's like a mixture of jugo de naranja y jugo de verduras. Ugh, I don't know, that probably wouldn't be too good, but I'm sure somebody would drink orange juice and vegetable juice together. There's always someone out there, okay? But if you like la bebida, okay, if you love it, you would use encanta. If I wanted to say I love something, I would say me encanta. If I wanted to say that you love something, me encanta. And I was talking about la bebida. Okay? If I wanted to say that we love the drink, nos encanta la bebida. Okay? Same thing goes for if you're loving something that is plural. In this case, we'll just use las bebidas. Las bebidas. If I wanted to say that she loves the drinks, we would say ella le ella le encantan las bebidas. Ella les encanta las bebidas. Okay? Encanta and gusta for liking and loving something that is singular. Gusta and gustan when you are liking or loving something that is plural. Okay? Oftentimes you can take a look at, is there an S at the end of it? Or the definite article will be el or la for singular stuff, or los or las for plural stuff, okay? So here's what I want you to take a look at. I am attaching to something on Google Classroom, something that looks like this. I give you the verb that I want you to conjugate. I give you the subject. In this case, it's nosotros. And in this case, the object, what is being liked. In this case, los plátanos, okay? So it's going to essentially be saying something that we love bananas, los plátanos, okay? So how would we do this one? We would start off, and I'm not going to fill it in, but I want you to fill out an answer here, 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 and here. There's 6 of them. You should be able to knock these out very quickly. But I want to make sure that you've got this. And if you don't, shoot me a note. But I will be looking to make sure that you have turned in this that I am going to be posting on Google Classroom. Okay? So, be looking for this that you are only going to be filling out and submitting. Okay? It is not for a grade per se, but it is a participation grade that you will be getting. Okay? And that you need to do. Okay? So, in this case, encantar, you are loving something. You're loving something that is plural, and our subject is nosotros. Okay? Again, you can look back to this handout that I'll be attaching also, and you will notice that all of a sudden, you've got these little tiny words, and then you've got some options here, and then you would finish off your sentence that you're making. Nosotros nos encantan los plátanos. Okay? So, you've got 6 opportunities to practice this. I'd like to see what you can do. This is going to be due tomorrow. So please, if you could, make sure that you knock this out tomorrow, or else I'm going to be looking for where your responses are at. This should go very quickly. Should not be that difficult, so I am going to say no more. If you have any problems, please reach out to me. And with that being said, I will leave you be.